Hi, I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac. After Colonel Gumm produces a giant stamp of Kato to go with the stamp he made out of the Green Hornet, it's time to put Batman and Robin into the machine. They're stuck to a giant undetachable glue pad he has on the wall. If you just joined us, no, you did not get the bad drugs.
Now, into the enlarged perforating and coiling machine with them. Robin, the switch.
What did Gumm expect to happen once he released them from the wall? They'd go quietly? Batman starts loosening a panel on the machine.
Why the panel?
Because the Green Hornet and Kato are still alive inside this machine.
Still alive? How could they be? They thumped back to the wall.
Shh! That should give them a chance to use their Hornet sting.
Why can't you just remove the panel and pull them out? Because it's not as dramatic. How did they survive inside the machine?
But there was a small niche between the gum applier and the perforating needles.
And we are both quite flexible.
What about the stamps? How did the machine get those images?
No doubt an automatic image orthicon of some kind.
Wrong, Green Hornet. It was a high-velocity spectroscopic range reflector mini-unit.
Even in their masks, these two can't stop it. You know what I want to see? I want to see them get into a fight and unmask each other. Can you imagine the looks on their faces?
But it seems as if in saving us, you've allowed our assailants to escape.
None too smart for a smart crime fighter.
I guess they had to get the last one in since Batman did call them masked meddlers. That was mean.
What's the matter?
I smell pink.
You're just tired.
No, I mean, I really smell pink. The color pink.
I think Batman got a whiff of the glue remover.
Pinky Pinkston. She wears eau de carnation, an expensive pink perfume. And she's been in here.
Good boy, here's your dinner.
I guess I'm tired, but it looks like a bowl of alphabet soup.
Robin, have you noticed the J's, Q's, and Z's are missing?
Holy uncanny photographic mental processes.
Yeah, whatever you said.
Miss Pinkston expected Batman here tonight. No doubt she contrived to leave a message.
And the soup? Gosh, Batman, it's sure a good thing you brought that empty alphabet soup bat container.
We have ceased all pretense of taking ourselves seriously. Alphabet soup bat container. Because what crime fighter doesn't eventually come up against alphabet soup? In the Batcave, Robin was trying to unscramble the letters in the soup bowl into some kind of coherent message. But he's a teenager and he was hungry and he suddenly realized there was food right in front of him and,
Forgive the intrusion, sir, but Mr. Reed is upstairs. He'd like to see you.
Ask Mrs. Cooper to keep him occupied, Alfred, a few minutes.
She's under the hairdryer, sir.
Oh, yes. I'll be right there, Alfred.
Just for fun, Bruce should meet him with rollers in his hair.
What kind of a guy is he, Bruce?
An enigma. I really don't know him very well, Britt. But if he tangled with Green Hornet last night, the Green Hornet would have gotten the worst of it.
Well, that would be a switch. Green Hornet usually comes out the winner.
That's because you have no Batman in your city.
They're both worried about Pinky, but they can't stop playing My Dad Can Beat Up Your Dad.
If you're going to be in town for a while, maybe we could dig up some excitement.
Yeah, it's guys like the Green Hornet and Batman that see all the action, get all the kicks.
Would you trade places with them?
Not with Batman. I wouldn't be caught dead in that crazy cowl of his.
Robin's getting nowhere with the letter noodles, so Batman gets an idea.
You mean you're gonna feed those letters to the bat computer?
They're made out of noodles, easy to digest.
Easy on the computer's stomach, won't give it heartburn.
You did it. If anyone can decode this message, Gumm is taking me to warehouse as hostage. Watch stamp exhibition tonight. Pinky Pinkston.
It even punctuated the message. Now we'll take a page out of the yellow pages and feed it in to find out which warehouse he's taking her to.
Don't tell me it's given up again.
The bat computer is not to blame. It's Mrs. Cooper's hairdryer, sir. It's short-circuited and half the electricity in the entire establishment is off. And the telephones are out, too.
How long's it been since you got her a new one, Bruce? What kind of dangerous junk are you making her use? Shame on you! This is as good a time as any to remind folks that having a computer was almost a miracle. There were major universities that didn't have one in the mid-60s because you pretty well had to build a special building to put it in. In 1974, I sat down at an IBM Selectric typewriter, the kind with the ball, and typed in my first computer program in BASIC language. This typewriter had an endless sheet of paper going through it that typed out all the communication between the computer and me. First, I had to enter my user ID, which was a string of letters and numbers that I had to write down because I could never remember it. Then the computer would type over the same line about 20 times to create a blacked out area. That was where I typed my password. The computer itself was about a quarter of a mile away. It stored information on disks about this big measured in kilobytes. That's the Bat computer. And you want to talk about a wild ride? I'm a hopeless geek who's always enjoyed tinkering with electronic stuff and seeing what's new. I've watched computers go from that to this just in my lifetime. I wish I could describe what that's like.
And so, because of a woman's vanity, a battle may be lost.
Lost? I'm surprised at you, Batman. Many battles have been won before electricity and telephone were ever invented.
Watch Robin's hand gestures.
Gosh, Robin, you may be right.
Just arranged to have the stamp exhibition in the Constellation Room tonight well publicized. Then there's bound to be some action. And a bat climb up Gotham Towers West will help us flex our muscles. Chin up, old chum.
That may be on its way to being my favorite clip ever. At the warehouse, Pinky is proving to be a headache for Colonel Gumm. She'll only talk to the dog, not directly to him.
Bruce Wayne was in the shop of his stamp dealer yesterday afternoon, making inquiries about that missing stamp of your old man's.
Do you suppose he means the Gotham Gothic apricot?
And last night at the factory, the Green Hornet mentioned the same stamp and the same stamp dealer.
Is he trying to tell me that Bruce Wayne is the Green Hornet?
Batman works in Gotham City. Britt Reed lives in that other city. Does he think the guy commutes?
And I strongly suspect that Britt Reed is Batman.
Yeah, they live in opposite cities to throw people off. Who's visiting Gotham right now, conveniently right around the time the Green Hornet appeared? Super criminal genius here can't put that together. He gloats a little more and heads for the big stamp exhibition.
Apricot, and this time I am talking to you. Get to work on the ropes around my wrists.
She trained her dog to chew ropes off her wrists just in case she ever got tied up. Maybe we should all do that, you never know.
Bruce Wayne's the Green Hornet.
And Britt Reed is Batman?
Incredible.
Unthinkable.
Inconceivable. I'll call them both up at once. Call them over here and face them with it.
Then that's good, isn't it, Apricot? If either Britt or Bruce arrive, then Colonel Gumm was wrong. For after all, Batman and the Green Hornet are dead.
Gordon says, in that case, I don't need to call either of them because I talked to Batman a little while ago. He, the Green Hornet, and all others concerned are alive and well. So there's not much point in calling either of them because they wouldn't admit their dual identities anyway, now would they?
By publicizing the stamp exhibition, Batman may be intending to smoke the Green Hornet out, as it were.
Well, then let's get over to the Constellation Room at once.
Isn't that what Batman told him to do in the first place?
We're heading for another clash with the Caped Crusaders, and I don't like it.
Why not? We've never run away from trouble before.
They think we're criminals. We must come out on top, but they mustn't suffer.
Kung Fu's Kung Fu. It's not child's play.
Our tricks are going to have to be tempered with good judgment.
And besides, Kato, you're good enough at Kung Fu that you can disable them without seriously hurting them. That comes with being Bruce Lee. At the exhibition building, Batman and Robin are enjoying an invigorating bat climb. That means it's cameo time. Today it's the unforgettable Edward G. Robinson who got famous for playing rough gangster types.
There are other ways of getting into this building, you know.
But none that provide the element of surprise that we need. What are you doing in Gotham City?
Well, some of the paintings from my collection go on exhibit here tomorrow. I wonder if some creative artist couldn't capture the two of you.
In real life, he was a humble, soft-spoken gentleman who was an art collector and expert in his own right. I like stories like that because they illustrate that he had real talent. When an overbearing oaf plays an overbearing oaf, it's not much of a stretch. When a man like Mr. Robinson plays Little Caesar, that's acting.
Perhaps the Cubistic school.
Oh, never.
Pop art?
No. I think canned tomato soup is to eat, not to frame and hang on a wall.
And we can't resist a little jab at Andy Warhol, who was one of the best-known American artists at the time. The painting in question had only been around for about 5 years, and people were still figuring out what to make of it. Aficionados of fine art like Edward G. Robinson weren't shy in making their opinions known, like right now.
It is a rare honor to have you here, Senor Barboza, all the way from the Argentine. I suppose your renowned howling monkey stamp has been entered for one of the prizes.
Yes, si. Oh, indeed it has, Senor Stample. In fact, I expect to walk away with everything tonight.
He needs to go back to college and take a course in disguises. His are all really bad. The constant giveaway, naturally, is that distinctive mustache. He could disguise himself better if he shaved it. But watching Roger C. Carmel without that mustache would be like eating an egg without salt.
Now, quiet please. We have here, ladies and gentlemen, that famous stamp from Egypt.
Now for the big question, are they going to team up to take down Colonel Gumm, or is he going to get away with his scheme while they're busy fighting each other?
The Green Hornet! And the Caped Crusaders!
We're teaming up to take care of Gumm's henchmen.
It's a good thing those guys are on our side, even though they don't know it.
What do we have here? A Mexican standoff? A dead heat? A photo finish?
Why do we need the narration, the voiceover, the denotation of the obvious? There's a wonderful story about this fight sequence. During filming, Burt Ward had been bragging a little about his knowledge of karate, so Bruce Lee decided to have some fun with him. He started acting very gruff and sort of seethingly angry toward Burt Ward, to the point where Burt was convinced that Bruce hated him. When it came time for the fight scene and Bruce Lee started throwing his moves, Burt Ward screamed something to the effect that, "It's just a show, Bruce, it's not real!" Whereupon, I suspect, Bruce Lee fell apart laughing. Somebody on the set pronounced it the Black Panther versus the Yellow Chicken. Before anybody can make a move, the police arrive with Pinky. Why they brought her, this is Gordon and O'Hara. Who knows why they do a lot of things.
Ah, if it isn't the fuzz and the pink hostage, she'll come in handy. Out that window, boys. We'll come up behind them.
Funny how nobody notices he's on his feet again, not even the cops.
Ah, Miss Pinkston, permit me to introduce my... Don't move, Commissioner. No, you, Chief. It's Gumm. Robin, if anyone makes the slightest move, Miss Pinkston will be a dead pink duck. All right, boys, out with the loot.
Robin rejoins Batman while the Green Hornet rejoins Kato.
Batman can handle this. Let's go.
Batman comes up with a plan.
Out the window, Robin. We'll come up behind Gumm.
That sounds eerily familiar.
Here's your man, Commissioner. Miss Kingston's foreman with assorted aliases and some sordid stooges.
We'll run him in, Commissioner. Right, Sarge. Goldberg, take him out.
It worked for Gumm, so there's no reason why it shouldn't work for Batman. Somebody finally notices that the Green Hornet is gone.
He certainly is. I wonder what he wanted in the first place.
Piece of a counterfeit stamp ring. What else?
Or maybe he meant to uncover the entire ring. Who knows?
The Green Hornet, a crime fighter?
Wholly unlikelihood.
You guys watch his show, so you know he's a good guy. Have you forgotten? In the epilogue, Britt Reed is having lunch with Pinky Pinkston again, and she's explaining how a lot of people think he's Batman and Bruce is the Green Hornet. Bruce is in another part of the room setting up a phone call to her.
Hello?
This is Batman.
Batman?
Yes, Miss Pinkston. I want to thank you for cooperating with me and your police department and running down your felonious foreman and apparently chasing the Green Hornet out of town.
I did nothing, Batman, but it was sweet of you to call. Goodbye.
That should convince her that Britt isn't Batman. We decided to throw all caution to the winds and just be silly in this story, and it was a lot of fun. It's a good thing, too, because that plot was just about the dullest we've seen yet. And I knew I recognized Pinky. A couple of years after this, some friends and I would go to a certain drive-in theater every Friday night and watch the cheesy biker movies they were showing. One of my favorites for its utter stupidity was this one. Yes, that's our stamp queen Pinky leading the pack. That's where I remembered her from. I doubt she would have been happy about that. I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac.